Wow, imagine that. You play footsies with the left and your business goes underwater. Just really shocking stuff that we have there. San Francisco socialists killed historic Anchor Brewing, critics say. You don't say. It's almost like your average beer drinker is just somebody who comes from a blue-collar background. It isn't one of these champagne socialists, because you thought if you're going to appeal to the left and their drinking community, you would come with seltzers, spritzers, or something that tastes like apples and somebody else's hard work. But let's check this out here quick. It survived Prohibition, the Great Depression, 2 World Wars, and even the Great San Francisco earthquake of 1906, but it couldn't withstand the woke left. As drinkers mourn this week's sudden closure of Anchor Brewing Company, the 127-year-old company that pioneered America's craft beer industry, critics blame the stunning collapse on socialist activists who drove labor costs to unsustainable heights. Gee, do we have like a big business analogy for this? Something that we can draw comparisons to? I wonder. You schmucks ruined a legacy business, San Francisco political commentator and former mayoral candidate Richie Greenberg told the Post. Your union fought for 25% raises, and now your members are getting 100% of zero. Bravo. Japanese beer giant Sapporo, which has owned the San Francisco mainstay. Very dishonorable how this company collapsed. Beloved for signature brews like Anchor Steam Ale and Anchor Liberty Ale since 2017, said the brand was crippled by sales losses during the COOF pandemic. Yeah, beer sales across the board skyrocketed, so that's not exactly a tenable excuse, while angry workers faulted Sapporo's mismanagement and poor marketing. No, we'll just go ahead and go to the people on the ground, because what they have to say is probably a little bit more important. But locals such as Greenberg told the Post that a cadre of Democratic Socialists of America. What? No, come on. Drove to push to unionize Anchor's modest 61 people work down there. Oh, we need a union, you lazy fuckers. In hopes of inspiring the masses to take on the power of capital. We brew the beer. We deserve the means of production. You fucking dorks wouldn't even know how to run this shit to begin with, but you're out here stumping for control. Fuck right off. These Democratic Socialists really don't care about workers they're getting involved with. They only want power and more membership in the screw loose cult. Exactly, man. Because just think about these. You got 61 people. You have 61 people, from the floor to the offices. Fantastic stuff. So you probably have 20 to 30 people on shift at any given time. There are some axioms about small businesses where you don't really start to turn a profit until you're hiring your 50th or 60th employee. So, okay, cool. You end up with a sliver of profit. And then these idiots want 28% boost in pay. You don't understand basic economics, which is probably why you're a Democratic Socialist to begin with. A substantial bump up that exacerbated the company's pandemic slump. Yeah, exactly. We're sad, we're defeated. We want to be left alone. The union tweeted Thursday. Oh, man. Oh, we're so sad. Okay, cool. You wanted to deal with facts and repercussions, but now all of a sudden you want to couch yourselves and pull up a blanket of emotional support. Fuck off. Your shitty policies just got 61 people a fucking pink slip in San Francisco, which now they can go hit the street and get a $1,500 a month stipend. So congratulations. I guess you gave your employees a fucking golden parachute right out there, which will double as a tent so they can go set up somewhere. But pay and working conditions were secondary to union organizer Brace Belden, a self-proclaimed Marxist-Leninist, oh my fucking god, and DSA member, Democratic Socialists of America, which would, yeah, Democratic Socialists aren't Marxists or socialists. That's why there's the Democrat name that's on there. Self-proclaimed Marxist-Leninist. There you go. Who recruited his comrades to canvass for the union drive. We didn't just dedicate ourselves to the project for the sole reason of starting a union, Belden crowed in 2019. Campaign spearheaded by socialist labor organizers, which, have you seen the average socialist? They ain't canvassing for shit unless it's typing on Reddit. Give us a foundation for a labor movement ready to take on the power of capital. Well, now guess what? Like it was stated earlier, you get 100% of nothing. Fucking morons. Fighting white supremacy. You're fighting white supremacy for brewing beer. Fucking take that bottle and crack it over your own head, because it's not being used for brewing anymore, you absolute mong. and organizing the rights of workers go hand in hand, Shanti Singh, a Belden ally and DSA leader, tweeted in 2022 in celebration of Anchor's union's contract vote. Universal suffrage was a mistake. Union triumph turned Belden, who had previously won national attention for an ill-starred stint fighting in the Syrian civil war, into a lefty darling. What the oh my god. He scored a visit from Bernie Sanders during a 2020 presidential campaign, then parlayed his hidden profile into the top-ranked podcast TrueAnon. Are you serious? Jesus. Now earns him more than $1.2 million a year from Patreon subscribers alone. Yes, stand in solidarity, comrade. He'll be doing so from his balcony downtown, while the rest of you plebs just gotta go fight for a spot of concrete that isn't covered in piss. But this is what you get, man. You're a company, you engage with these fucking morons, even though the moment that you start to hear democratic, social, Marx, unionize, get the fuck out. You, go, leave, bye, fuck off, move, go, bye. Get the fuck out of here. That's the way that you need to attack these stupid fucking ideologues. It's the exact same way that Bud Light should have handled their situation if they didn't want to lose $27 billion in market cap. You've opened up a space that everybody can exploit. Somebody who really made their bones off of this is Seth Weathers, the guy who founded Ultra Right Beer. We talked about this, a couple of months ago at this point in time, and their sales have continued to skyrocket. And thanks to Bud Light's continued dick tripping from one failure to another, well, he just decided to put out a parody ad that attacks Bud Light, because that right there is good fucking business, and it's 100% more hilarious than the intended comedy of the Bud Light skit itself. An ex-Donald Trump campaign manager has cashed in on Bud Light's disastrous tie-up with Dylan Mulvaney by launching a woke-free beer called Ultra Right. And its latest ad is a cinematic parody that takes another jab at the embattled brew, because yeah, they can't stop fucking up. Oh well. Latest ad for the new beer called Ultra Right played on the comedic action film Smokey and the Bandit, a 1970s hit about a truck driver who transports an illegal shipment of beer across state lines. Driving over state lines, that's a man act. That's me, conservative dad. You're probably wondering how I got here. The ad starts out while showing the founder, chief executive, and so-called conservative dad Seth Weathers bashing a Bud Light can with a bat. This is an unlikely story of a fed-up American who had enough of the woke beer companies and decided to do something about it. On a mission, and I won't stop until all Americans have 100% woke-free American beer company that they can be proud of again. Weathers continued while changing into Western gear. And there's a screenshot of it. I don't want to play it. There's copyrighted music underneath of it. Obviously, you know, the Smokey and the Bandit theme, but you can find the video through this article that'll be linked in the description. Of course. And the next scene opens up Woke Beer Smokey, played by the actor who admirably mimics Jackie Gleason's Sheriff Buford T. Justice, trying to stop a conservative dad who almost destroyed one of America's biggest woke beer companies. He made a complete mockery at a woke corporation. Highway patrolman ads and a satirical jab at Bud Light's ill-fated partnership with trans social media star Mulvaney, which raised $27 billion from the brand's market cap and had beer drinkers clapping back with "Go woke, go broke." The 2-minute, 20-second ad draws obvious inspiration from the original Smokey and the Bandit film, yes, the 1977 Trans Am. In the commercial, though, the Trans Am carries a license plate bearing the same name of the not woke beer brand, because of course, marketing is important. Ultra Right, which dropped in May to capitalize on the Bud Light losses, is donating a portion of its funds to the 1776 Project. Hey man, check that out. A Trump-funded committee that supports patriotic education. Fantastic. Weathers said in the ad that he hopes the move will overthrow the woke school board members and replace them with normal people like us. Fucking based. He concludes, never underestimate conservative dads on a mission. The ad titled Smokey and the Conservative Dad was released on Weathers' social media pages on Wednesday night, garnering nearly 145,000 views on Twitter. Well, let's see what it's at right now. Well, obviously, 251, so 250,000 views, and based on the sales that it's had before, there is no reason to expect that ad that they put out would be deleterious to their success because once again, unlike Bud Light, I actually understand their consumer base. Weird, huh? Ultra Right became an instant hit, launched in May, weeks after Yes Mulvaney's April 1st post tagged Bud Light partner that outraged the beer maker's conservative fan base. After 12 days in business, Ultra Right gained more than 10,000 customers, sold 20,000 six-packs for $20 a piece. Bud Light cases, meanwhile, sell for less than $15. And even when they're marked at $15, remember, during certain points throughout the summer, you can go ahead and get a $15 rebate. So yeah, they're giving away free beer, and Ultra Right is turning a fantastic profit. It's almost funny. It's almost funny on multiple fronts. Just how often Bud Light continues to fuck up. How obvious it is whenever you invite woke activists through your front door, they will end up shutting down your company or at least causing it significant financial problems. But it's also funny just how obvious it is right now that people are so fed up with the mainstream talking points where they're just turning away. They're paying a super high premium in order to just support companies that don't fucking hate them. How obvious this is for so many companies that are out there. You can easily turn a profit if you don't detest your consumers. But that's the problem. They've staffed all their positions with power with people that intrinsically think that they're better and they know better than everybody else that's out there. So once you purge those people because you can no longer afford to keep the fucking lights on, then we might start to see things change. But until then, we can continue to mock it. We can continue to support alternative brands that are out there and watch the system burn. That's all that I hope for. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.